TIFU by smelling my feet and ending up in the ER. This TIFU actually happened today. Or at least in the last 24 hours. Either way, I'm counting it. I'll be the first to admit that my feet are sometimes a little bit smelly. Some of my friends and family have lovingly said they are odorly challenged. I wash them in the shower every day. I've tried the fancy creams. But none of it seems to really help, and I've at this point accepted that I'm just naturally a stinkfoot and will live my life with a constant faint corn chip aroma wafting from my toes. I live alone, and when in my apartment prefer not to wear socks or shoes. This is occasionally a point of contention with my girlfriend, who visits often and insists I at least wear socks when she comes over. It's mostly fun banter where she teases me for my feet smelling and I tease her for a loud burp or something like that. But sometimes after a particularly long day the foot factory releases emissions that would surely get me fined by EPA, which she rightfully hates. Yesterday she came over for dinner. It was a nice day, so we decided to get delivery from one of our favorite restaurants and eat on the balcony. Well, I'm at home and I've already liberated my tootsies from their foot prisons. And I figured it'd be nice to set the table with some flowers for my lady. I was outside setting up when she arrived. And she came outside to greet me. Immediately she smelled my feet and recoiled in disgust, the most dramatic reaction ever. Fake vomiting. Fake crying. She was hamming it up as part of our banter. I have gone a bit nose blind to them over the years. So I lean against the railing to balance and go to smell them myself to see how bad they were. This was my mistake. I'm a burly guy. And this poor railing could not handle my equally overdramatic reaction of throwing my head back and screaming. It gave way. Luckily I'm only on the second floor, so I only fell maybe 25 feet. But it felt like it lasted a solid minute. It was at least long enough of a fall for me to reflect on the situation and feel like an idiot for dying from smelling my own feet. The aftermath is a fractured rib and dislocated shoulder. And my girlfriend never letting me live this down. TLDR. Smelled my feet. Railing went yeet. Almost died and I feel like sheet. Did you manage to put your socks and shoes back on after your fall? Or should we feel bad for the folks who had to smell your feet? Bro. You need to go see a doctor about those feet. Athlete's foot. Fungus infection. It is something probably easy to take care of and cheaper than dealing with a fractured rib and dislocated shoulder. My feet are killing me. Forget about your feet. The railing of your apartment gave way and nearly killed you. Was it rusty? Uncared for? That kind of neglect is a just lawsuit waiting to happen. Do not view this as an accident. After how many ever months of having those inside it, your apartment has decided to retaliate. Be on your guard. It knows where you sleep. On top of treating a likely fungal infection with a topical cream, here's some tips to prevent it from recurring. Get new shoes and new socks. The fungus you've been dealing with has invaded those and will just recolonize your toes if you go back to your old footwear. Foot powder with tea tree oil. Lush makes one called Tea Is for Toes I use when I wear closed-toe shoes with socks. There are probably other similar options at the market, especially at a natural food store. If rubbing the foot powder into your feet every day feels like a chore, you can also sprinkle some into your socks before putting the socks on your feet. When you get home, wash and dry your feet. Set your shoes outside somewhere, patio or garage, to let them dry out before you put them back in a shoebox. Please use a shoebox to store your shoes. Having a closed container will help keep your bedroom, closet, home from smelling like your stank ass shoes. Feel free to slip crumpled newspaper in them to absorb extra moisture. Or use a half-dryer sheet to help them smell better. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. 25 feet is easily a fatal fall. Just saying. Constant faint corn chip aroma wafting from my toes. The medical term is Fritos. Did your girlfriend by any chance go to a pharmacy to get stinky feet cream? This physically made me both gag and laugh. Thank you, Op. I'm sorry your pain amused me so. The TLDR poetry is mua. Corn chip smell equals probable fungal infection. See your doc. Hun. Also. Sorry about that. You get an award for the TL. Doctor though. Only one comment about the railing? Stop talking about this and call an injury lawyer. For you. Not your GFS's burned nostrils. Do not talk about it with your building admins. In no circumstances should a railing on a balcony collapse from one person leaning on it. Also, good luck with your feet and stuff. This is hilarious. Glad you didn't die though. While everyone else here is commenting about your feet, your apartment owner, manager is seriously sweating over you falling. Guardrails are meant to stop people from falling and absolutely should have been able to support your weight leaning against it. I wouldn't be surprised if this triggered an inspection of all balcony railings at your apartment complex. I've seen countless apartments replace balconies and their railings over the years due to water damage. It's a fairly common occurrence. While I'm not advocating for you to sue your complex, you'd absolutely have a case for them to cover your medical costs and lost wages at a minimum. Up to you whether you'd want to. But I'd retain a lawyer and absolutely wouldn't sign anything brought to you by your apartment complex trying to absolve them of responsibility. Don't even talk to them or say anything more than, I leaned up against the railing and it gave way. The real fuck up here is the lack of adequately safe railing on your balcony. This is a major issue. They and you are lucky you didn't die. I'm glad you're set to heal and hopefully get your feet taken care of. That was a beauty. Try soaking your feet in apple cider vinegar. It will kill a kid of the bacteria, fungus etc. hat can cause odor. See a professional dermatologist for your feet. There is no reason to suffer from this or any other skin conditions when there is actually something out there that will fix it. With insurance, my visit only costed me $15 for both the visit and medicine that completely cured a different but similar skin condition. All this other over-the-counter crap is not going to work or take years to do what the right medication does in weeks. Edit. Also, I'm sure you already know, but just in case, never wear the same socks more than once before washing them again. I know 100% this will make any fungal infection worse. I work at a funeral home and one of my more memorable services was a 23-year-old who fell from a second-floor balcony. He was just sitting up on the rail dicking around on his phone like he probably had done hundreds of times and went over. It was a huge service and some of his friends couldn't even stand to walk in the chapel and see him in the casket. It was a hard one to watch. So I'm glad you lived, man. It's definitely a reminder to respect a second-story fall. I have nothing to gain from recommending this other than I too have smelly feet. Lume deodorant in the tube form on the feet has been extremely helpful for me. Choco feet are a thing of the past now. Occasionally my workout shoes will be a bit whiffy, but other than that I'm no longer self-conscious to take them off anytime. I can really recommend cinnamon insoles. This might sound weird, and it did to me, too, when I first heard of it. Cinnamon is antibacterial and antifungal and kills the smell-producing bacteria on your feet and in your shoes. They are common in Asia and can be bought online everywhere else. I used to have smelly feet. Now I'm using them for 20 years and it's the best thing I ever did for my feet. When they're new, there's a distinct cinnamon smell every time you get your shoes off. But I happen to love cinnamon, so for me it's all good.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.